Vegas started the Stanley Cup final with a road win. The New York Knicks answer in kind on Wednesday in San Antonio as they push their postseason win streak to a dozen games. Their first finals win since the '99 finals. Their fourth finals game one win in franchise history. The previous three all came against the Lakers. The last was back in '72. New York now has 7 consecutive victories away from MSG, which is tied for the second longest road winning streak in a single playoff run in the history of the NBA. They're one shy of tying Shaq and Kobe's 2001 Lakers, who won their second of 3 in a row. Mike Brown's squad improves to 4-0 in Game 1 this postseason. First time they've done so in franchise history. They've won their last 5 playoff series after winning Game 1 on the road, dating back to '99. Pleasure to welcome Michael Wilbon and Stephen A. Smith to the program. Stephen A., I'm going to let you go second and empty the clip on New York. We're going to give the elder statesman of our group here, Michael Wilbon, a veteran of so many NBA finals, the first word on what we saw tonight. New York's ability to withstand the runs in a game of runs and their ability to get the ball in the hands of the man who delivers when it matters most, Brunson. That's what the headline will be. To your mind, what was most important about the manner in which they won?
Brunson, and more Brunson, Scott. And you just talked to him, and it was amazing sitting here watching him just carry them home. After, early in the game, he goes back to the locker room. He limps off the floor reluctantly, comes back to the bench, is on the bench for a while, and you don't know if he can go. And I think you guys talked about sort of the feeling of a heavyweight fight. It was, and for Brunson, it was like he has to take a standing 8 count. What can the Knicks do without Brunson if they have to go without him? And I'm sitting next to Mr. New York over here, who Stephen A. won't admit it now, Scott, but he was damn nervous in real time. And you want to see the best players in the world, and particularly the 2 best players in this series, Brunson and Wemby, go and be healthy and go through this series as hard and as long as they can go. But in that moment, you don't know if Brunson can go, and he delivers again. He looks like the most clutch player in the league because it's what he is.
Hollis, Queens in the building. New York City in the building. Stephen A. Smith. You can't win the fight. You can't win the fight in the first round, but you can make a statement in the first round and grab another victory, 12 in a row, 7 in a row on the road. This New York Knicks team that you're watching, what impresses you most about them?
The guts, the grit. The kind of thing that we thought was gone when Tom Thibodeau walked out the door and we watched them for the first 75% of this season. We didn't know if we were going to see it come playoff time, but absolutely they stepped up. And tonight was the latest example of what happened. They were up by 7, 14-7. San Antonio closes the first quarter going on a 20-5 run. They looked like they could handle the New York Knicks, but the New York Knicks just wouldn't go away. Bumps into, Mikal Bridges or whoever it was, goes into Brunson's knee. His knee's hurting. He's got to go out of game. He's got to go to the locker room. He comes back. He gets his ankle stepped on. He won't come out the game. He's still there. You got Josh Hart, can't get a shot, but he got 15 rebounds. You got Karl Anthony Towns saying, Wemby's the biggest dude, the tallest dude on the court, but I'm going to take advantage of all these other little guys y'all got the nerve to put on me. I saw OG Anunoby. All of a sudden, he couldn't find a shot. Then the next thing you know, he hits 2 big-time threes. And then when it's time to close, okay, after you had a 14-point deficit, after you come back from that, then all of a sudden you give the ball to Jalen Brunson, and what does he do? What he always does, he closes for you. This is what I'm talking about. We were looking to see if we were going to see this from the New York Knicks because we saw it against Philly, we saw it against Cleveland. We knew neither team measured up to the San Antonio Spurs. Could you do it in Game 1 of the Finals on the road? And that's what the Knicks did. So anything that the New York Knicks fans believed about the Knicks coming into this series was validated in Game 1 tonight. And that's why I'm excited. Not too much. I got to hold it back. You got 3 more to go. But this is how it's
holding back,
and that's
Scott.
what I'm talking about.
This is holding back, right?
Michael, I'm going to give you.
I got to hold him down.
The final word, Michael. Are you mentally prepared for what you will deal with if 3 more wins come for the man next to you? Are you mentally prepared for that?
Scott, because we're in the same building all the time.
Exactly.
I got Stephen A. at this level and Tony and Corners. I'm surrounded by New Yorkers that I love and work with, but it's a bit much
Yeah.
But, look, there is a long way to go in this series. But I will say this. The Knicks to come on the road and do this, I did say I want to pat myself in the back. I said they will be down between 4 and 11 points at some point. They got to play the rust off. They did that. They played the rust off. And so, to me, they start in Game 2 not just in a much better place from being up 1-0, but from the way they'll feel about themselves and their game. And it's up to San Antonio to do what they've done multiple times already, which is respond. The Spurs have been good at that.
Scott?
Yeah.
I'm going to be calm and say this.
All right.
The New York Knicks won. Josh Hart didn't shoot the ball well. OG there wasn't particularly great. Mikal Bridges wasn't particularly great shooting the ball. And they won anyway. We will be calm.
There we go.
But it's 3 to go, baby.
Understood. First to 4. First to 4. Fellas, I appreciate the time. We'll talk again. If not Friday, I'll see you in New York City come Monday for Game 3. I appreciate you. All right, thank you.
Sounds good, Scott. Thank you.
3 to go, Stephen A. Still plenty more to come after the Knicks take Game 1. Tim Legler, Brian Windhorst will join us from the floor in San Antonio with their perspective on New York's victory. Also, Jeremy Lin back with us in studio, and that is next on. It's 12 consecutive victories in the playoffs for New York, 7 of them on the road. They're the 3rd team in NBA history to do that in a single postseason. Last loss, by the way, day 1 of the NFL draft, which feels like it was, a year ago. The previous 2 teams both won a title. Warriors in 17, Steph and KD. They were a win away from an undefeated postseason. The 99 Spurs, who knocked off the Knicks in the finals. It's a pleasure to welcome Jeremy Lin to the set, a champion with Toronto, a man that had a memorable time in New York, as everyone is well aware. And I laughed with you as you and I sat and watched this game, and I explained, we're going to take notes for 4 quarters. We're going to have all this really good stuff. Then we're going to sit on the set, and 95% of it is not going to be what we talk about, and that is exactly what happened. Let's just start at the end and work our way wherever you want to go. New York's ability in a game of runs where Brunson wasn't great to find the victory. What to your mind, was most important about how they did it and most impressive?
Let's start with the obvious, Captain Clutch. Brunson, when it comes time to it, just the ability to take over a game, his killer mentality, that is one portion. The part that I am just blown away at is Cat's defense. Cat's defense on Wemby. Of course, he has 18 and 12, and he imposes his will on the offensive side. But his defense on Wemby was what was so impressive. He made it very difficult for him all night. Wemby really struggled from the field. And then I got to give love to Josh Hart. Like you said, 3 points, but to lead the Knicks in rebounds, assists, steals, plus minus, to do all of that with taking only 5 shots. He is, in many ways, to me, the heart and soul of the Knicks, and putting those 3 together.
And one of the subplots that came out of the Spurs Thunder series was Chet, particularly in that last game where he only took 2 shots, didn't shoot the last 31 minutes, and just looked shook, frankly. Karl Anthony Towns is going to test Wembanyama on both ends of the floor in ways he really hasn't necessarily been, or at least wasn't in that last series. How much is that going to be something that we'll get to adjustments later? But how much do you think is that something that notably bothered Wembanyama tonight?
So I think that's the key to the series is Cat. I think Cat's ability to shoot and shoot from deep with a quicker release than Chet. Early in the first quarter, you see he just is driving downhill, right at Wemby, just taking it to him. And then defensively down the stretch, Wemby seemed tired. He seemed exhausted to the point where in the second half, they had to switch defensive coverages so Wemby wasn't guarding the pick and roll all the time. And that is something in the fourth quarter that it wears on him. And Wemby just started to ISO and couldn't score on Cat.
Always do the same thing you guys would do after a game and look at the box score. My eyes are drawn to 6 for 21 from Wembanyama in this one. And look, they expelled a great deal of mental and physical energy in beating the reigning champs on their home floor. And now on this night, they dropped the opener to New York. Wembanyama afterwards with his thoughts on what they got to get right heading into Game 2.
It's almost not like I have anything to figure out. It's almost like I have to play normal, not even good. It's like just doing the right things is enough. It's when we play bad, when I play bad, it's when we shoot ourselves in the foot. This is why I'm not worried. We're going to be so much better. I'm going to be so much better.
That seems reasonable, right? I mean, if you 6 for 21, that's not a normal night for him by any stretch of the imagination. And when he was on, it was April, Jeremy, and I asked him, like, the one thing you guys haven't done has been in the playoffs, and he said, hey, screw it, we haven't. Well, now they're in the finals, so it's not new to them. But maybe the emotion and the moment tonight is new, right? Because it is the finals. You're 4 away. I wonder if that impacted this team as you watched it. Is that something that perhaps was part of this evening?
I think it's something that they've done a great job of leaning into. Like, it's actually a strength that we don't have the experience, and you hear them talk about different quotes, and they have this blank slate of what is possible. But at the end of the day, it is the finals. There is a different level of spotlight. There is a different level of criticism. And on top of that, they went 7 games in a grueling series.
No question. And New York's been rolling through everybody like a hot knife through butter.
New York is rested. They're number 1 in points per game, number 1 in points in the paint, number 1 in pace, number 1 in transition. This is amongst all teams in the playoffs. And so this is a fast-paced team, and the Spurs are going to be fatigued.
All right, we're going to get to adjustments later, but just one quick one that I do want to get from the card to the people, and that's the way that New York off switches with Karl-Anthony Towns, something for folks to keep an eye on, how that can lead to a mismatch, whether it's on a shot or through offensive rebounds. I thought that was important.
Yeah, they're doing this peel. The Spurs are doing a peel where if Jalen Brunson breaks the three-point line, the guard who's guarding Brunson peels off to Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns did a great job of just getting into the paint, trying to get offensive rebounds, and that's, the biggest difference in the game, if you look at the advanced stats, was second chance points, a big, large part due to Cat.
Yeah, he had a dozen rebounds, 4 offensive, and it's just off those mismatches. I found it fascinating what you pointed out to me, because off the guard, maybe he's not shooting over the guard, but now he's able to get a rebound